open-minded isn't believing everything you hear. You don't believe everything you read, do you?
A lot of stuff you kind of go, well, that's interesting.
But what we talked about this. What about Noah's Ark?
What about it?
Book form, but according to that, didn't he get 2 of every species on a big boat? But we know that's impossible, don't we?
Depends where he was. If it was above a zoo, there would have been a lot of different stuff knocking about. That's my only problem with that.
The zoo hasn't got 1% of all animal species.
No, but they've got more. What I'm saying is, where was he floating where he could get an elephant, a giraffe, a cat, a dog, a gerbil? Where were all these things floating about?
Well, exactly.
Right, these Old Testament zoos, they were quite...
Yeah, but exactly. Really. But you're right, you're questioning it. How is it possible?
But I've just said, a zoo.
But what are you talking about, a zoo? As I said, there's no zoo that has got 1% of all animal species.
Well, I don't know where he got them from then.
There's a couple of million species of animal. And how did he round these animals up?
Because they were drowning, so they were looking for any boat.
So they were actively seeking out an ark.
Well, they would have just been looking for anything to get hold of.
Yeah, and where did he keep them all? How did he keep them all separate? How did he...
At that point...
Oh no, the lions at the otter.
No, because at that point, it's that thing in it of how you all pull together in a bad situation.
Talk shit.
They all chip in, they're all like, oh god, you know, let's be nice to our neighbours.
Right, so there's spiders talking to flies and...
Well, they would have just gone elsewhere, wouldn't they? They would have been on another bit of the boat. The spiders don't have to knock about the lions just because they're all in it together. They get their own little area, don't they?
Well, I don't know. How big is this boat?
It's big. It's a big boat. How long? What was the warning he got from God to make it?
I don't know.
It was a couple of weeks.
He probably had the Extreme Makeover Home Edition team. They all chipped in. Probably had Queer Eye for a Straight Guy helping him out with some of the
interior design elements.
Yeah. 2 of every species, Carl. How big would this boat have to be?
Yeah, it's big.
You can't just keep saying it's big, because I know in your mind, you're imagining this ark, there's a boat with Noah up the front with his wife, 2 giraffes behind him, then next there, 2 elephants, and it's just like elephant, giraffe, hippo, dog, cat, weasel, couple of frogs, and a spider talking to a fly going, let's get on, but when we're off here, you're dead.
But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a question of what it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered, and they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
Chimpanzee, that he's running down again, you fucking...
That's the jingle for excerpts from Carl's diary. This is all legitimate stuff. Ricky and I have had no input in this. This is the first time we get to read it. Went and did some shopping for stuff as it was my turn. Suzanne moaned a bit because I forgot orange juice and bought some cheap toilet paper. She always buys the expensive toilet paper. I don't know why they make toilet paper with pretty patterns on it.
That made it into the diary.
Up and out at 9 o'clock to go to the Cotswolds. Now I think this was a gift for your girlfriend, wasn't it, for her birthday?
Yeah, it was a
you went to the
birthday and
Cotswolds,
so I just went for one night.
Got the car and headed off. We stopped at a service station to get some breakfast. We had fried toast with an egg on it, 1 sausage and beans, twice. Cost us £13.85. They sell everything separate, so it seems cheap. At that price we must have been charged for each bean. We found the B&B, but they wouldn't let us in the room because we were early. We went for a walk. There was not much around the B&B, so we had a quick walk around the car park. And went back in. Happy birthday. The room was now ready. It's an alright room. 3 biscuits, so I ate them straight away. Like a child.
Like a dog. He runs in, jumps on the bed. No.
Get off the bed, not on the furniture. The room overlooked the car park that we'd already been round. Just staring at the window. Remember when we went there? We'd always have the car park.
Yeah. Oh God.
The room had posh coat hangers in the wardrobe with sponge on them.
So I ate the sponge.
Don't think they are needed. We went and booked a table for Sunday dinner and went on another walk. There was a field that was there just for birds to live on. We couldn't see any, so we went to the pub. Headed back to where we were staying for our dinner, I had beef. It was nice enough, but there was a family of 13 behind us. I don't see the point in going out in large numbers. They annoyed me. One of the family asked for sorbet before his next course. He was only about 11. He thought he was it. I said to Suzanne, I've had enough and needed a kip. Watch Planet Earth on BBC One. They filmed a panda for 4 weeks and all it did was sit in its cave. It did nout. If I was Fiat, I wouldn't name one of my cars after them as it suggests it won't work or go very far. It'd be like bringing out a Ford Sloth. No one would buy it.
A Ford Sloth! I would love that ad campaign! Oh, that's amazing! Oh, God! The new Vauxhall Slug!
We had a look around the local village. There wasn't much to it. We did the usual thing and had a look around the church graveyard to see how old the dead people are.
Suzanne's on the sofa. She's gone to the Cotswolds. The room wasn't ready. She's seen the car park, an empty field, and now let's go and play how old the dead people
I
are.
like the fact that you mentioned we did the usual thing of having a look around the church graveyard. Do you make her do that every time you go away?
I like the fact. I want to know what she did for 2 hours when you slept. Did she just look?
She went to a club and a whale of a time.
No, she just looked out the car park, just like memories.
Well, that's what you do though, isn't it, when you go to these places? There's nothing else, unless you want fudge. Or, you know, you walk round a church graveyard and have a look. There's nothing.
We went home. It took 3 hours to drive back. People say they go to the country to see the wildlife. I saw rabbits, pheasants and a fox on the way home. They were all dead in the road. I was just intrigued to know, because Rob from Burton-on-Trent has sent this in, and he wants to know that, because he's just started seeing someone, and he wants to know what your advice, Carl, is on how to keep her happy. You know, he's just started a relationship with someone. He wants to know what your advice would be to keep her happy, because, you know, I mean, he won't have heard that you took Suzanne on that wonderful trip to the Cotswolds, so what's your your advice really for someone who's perhaps just started a relationship? I mean, you've been with Suzanne for what, 9 years?
Ages. I don't think you should have to go out of your way to please them, because then it's not the right person. I think you should just do what you want, and then if they like it, then they're the right ones for you. So don't go out of your way too much. I mean, I got the posh badge for a birthday. That's once a year. Rest of the time, it's kind of like, you know, I like weird stuff. I like watching weird stuff and all that. Now and again, I won't make her watch it. I'll tape it.
This is amazing advice.
But sometimes
This is amazing advice.
sometimes you just say, no, come on, the bloke with the 2 heads on, I want to watch it live.
So give and take is what you're saying there.
That's all. It shouldn't be hard. As soon as it's hard, it's not right. So just go about your business. See if she joins in.
Brilliant. Another quote for the book.
Woke up to the Commonwealth Games on the radio. Now, what are you making of the Commonwealth Games? Is that something that interests you? Are you a sports fan?
I'm not really. I mean, Suzanne's sort of been getting up early, especially to watch it. You know how I feel about a lot of it. It just seems to be sort of wasted. If people are running fast, use it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just trying to beat your own record or someone else's, do something where you do have to run. If you're a good swimmer, be a lifeguard. Don't be messing about going up and down.
I was swimming recently. I do a lot of swimming, and I've never quite mastered my front crawl. Just never quite nailed the breathing, because it's quite tricky, isn't it? You know, you've got to breathe at the right moment. And so I'm in the swimming pool in the local gym, and there's a guy bombing up and down, really doing a great forward stroke. So I waited till he came up, and sort of went, excuse me, mate. I was just watching you when you were doing your front crawl. I was really impressed. Could you just watch me when I do mine and tell me if I'm going
Why
wrong?
would you go to a man?
I know, and that was what that was the problem. It's only as I was saying it did I realise what it sounded like. I've just been watching you swimming up and down. I was really impressed.
And you're both in Speedos.
Both in Speedos. You know, I'm got the goggles on.
Oh, you got special
Special orthopedic, special prescription goggles so I can see when I'm when I'm swimming.
How much were they?
Quite pricey.
But why do you need them? There's nothing in a pool to look at. It's not like you're scuba diving. There's
Well,
nothing.
hold on. Clearly there is something to look at in a pool.
Well, no, I wasn't checking. Well, I was checking him out, but I was checking him out for swimming tips. And he just looked at me when I asked him, "Can you just watch me and offer me any tips?" And he just looked at me like I was just mental.
That is such a strange thing to say. Can you just watch? I don't know how you had the nerve to do that.
But it was innocently motivated.
Well, I know it's innocent, but what a strange thing to go up to someone and...
But what civilization are we living in where we can't just ask our fellow man to help us out with our forward crawl?
But we're in a society where we can't. But you know that. It's a strange thing to say.
But sometimes it's nice to just think, no, do you know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap of thinking
agree.
he's immediately going to think I'm gay or that I'm chatting him out. I'm just going to ask him to do me a favour. There's nothing wrong with that.
What if he said, yeah, it's good, yeah, do you mind coming and help me with my plastering? You'd have said, no, I can't.
But it's not the same. He's in the swimming pool. He's there in the pool. He's swimming up and down. He's, it's not no skin off his nose to just offer a bit of kindly advice. If your car's broken down in the middle of nowhere and someone drives by, it's a generous thing to do. Just stop and maybe look under the bonnet and help them out.
I agree.
But I don't see how it's any different. And in the end he did, and all he asked was that I wake him off. No, he didn't. I'm joking. That's the jingle for Rockbusters, a quiz which I don't think anyone enjoys. I mean, Carl doesn't enjoy writing them, we don't enjoy listening to them, the listeners from the emails are just not interested, so don't know why we bother. But anyway,
Right,
here we go.
last week's clues, go.
The first one, it's cryptic clue, just in case.
No,
it's the
stop
first time
saying
you've heard
cryptic,
it.
'cause they're not
Clue
cryptic.
with initials of an artist or a band. You work it out, you send in the answers. Right, the first one, the initials were SC, right? And the cryptic clue was, I went into the restaurant on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. The fella making the food, he was there each time.
Okay.
Right? So you got to think about it, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, just tell us the answer.
What is he?
You
He's
can't, go
a
on.
cook, isn't he, if he's making the food and that. If he was there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's the same cook.
Yeah.
So what have you got there?
Same cook.
Same cook.
Sam Cook. Sam
You
Cook.
said same cook.
Yeah, but if I went, the way I look at it is, if I worked in a record
The way you
shop,
look at it is,
if I worked
you
in a
get
record
close you
shop,
can
someone
and
came
just
and
say
said,
it.
"You got Sam Cook?" I'd go, "Yeah, sure, he's in the jazz section or whatever." Right, the second one.
Bollocks, that is bollocks, that one.
Go into that woman's store and rip her off. Right, so what's a store?
Shop.
Right, if you're ripping someone off, what are you doing?
Stealing.
Another way of
Conning.
Right, okay. And what is it? It's a shop. It's a woman. So what am I saying?
What's the initial?
C.
Con shop.
Right. It's a woman.
Con her shop. Corn her shop.
There you
Corner
go.
shop.
So Steve worked that one out. Well done there. The last one.
I'm stunned.
You've had a go at laying down a track, but it ain't perfect.
Go on. What's that?
So a track is
Yeah, what's the initial?
E.
Okay.
So you've had a go at laying down this track.
Yeah.
So when you're laying down a track, it's like it's a mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've had a go at doing it. You've just it ain't perfect.
Yeah.
So you could say it's what's another word for not perfect? It's a bit of a
Shit.
like, that's a bit rough, innit? It's a bit of a rough mix. It's your rough mix.
Your rough mix.
Your Rough Mix. I've never heard of that band.
That's not bad.
Annie Lennox, isn't it? Your rough mix. So
Your Rough Mix.
Candice Morris in London got them.
I really don't know what to say.
So signed picture off to
You're
her.
I feel embarrassed that we're still doing it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, well, we're jacking it in a bit.
Should we just not mention it again? Like,
No, we're not doing Monkey News. There's nothing going on. I'd be doing it if there was Monkey News going on. It's not going on. We can't do it. Rockbusters has to fill the gap. Are we doing this week's?
Hurry up.
CK.
Depressing.
oh God, we've got this week's to come. I thought the
Fuck
week's was
me.
over.
CK.
Okay, now.
Do you know the songs that you sing at Christmas? That bloke who sings them is brilliant at it. Right? CK. Second one. MG. I told the homosexual man that the grape tree was mine.
What?
I told the homosexual man that the grape tree was mine.
And what's the initials?
MG. Right?
Okay.
Bit of an easy one. And I ask you if you believe in Father Christmas. Right? What would you say if I asked you? The initial is S.
Is that specifically Ricky?
We might as well keep it as Ricky, yeah. I asked you if you believe in Father Christmas, what would you say?
So have they got? Is there any prior knowledge? Do they have to guess what I'd say?
Well, they'd know. It's obvious what you'd say, right?
Oh, this is so bad.
So
It's an embarrassment. This.
Yeah.
So it's a little quiz. Leave them thinking with that for the next week.
Right. What are you going to do about next week?
Podcast at rickygervais.com. Just send them in.
Embarrassing. Don't bother if they're shit.
Right.
Well, that's about it for another week. It's the end of number 5, number 6 next week. Keep coming to rickygervais.com. We'll keep you abreast of things that are going on. We've made a little video, haven't we, Carl? That we might pop up there. And we've had a few emails about the old shows. People came into them late in the season. Well, you can now get all 12 episodes of the first season on iTunes. And I think there's a 2 or 3 quid in England, or $5 or so, I'm not sure, but you can get those now, all 12. So for me, Ricky Gervais, goodbye. From Steve Merchant,
Goodbye.
and from Carl Pilkington.
Right.
This is Audible.
Hello, welcome to number 6, the final episode in this season 2 of the Ricky Gervais Show, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello.
and Carl Pilkington.
Alright.
You can still go and get the archive, all 18 episodes we've done so far. That's available on iTunes and audible.co.uk. And there's a little video diary we've done, a little free podcast. We may go into free podcasting, but in video, Steve.
Ah.
And there's a little free taster up there. So check that out. Go to rickygervais.com to find out all news and everything. But come on, let's get on with this episode. We're here and now.
This is right, yeah, absolutely, here we are. Good,
Carl.
go.
I've got some bad news to start off with straight away. The world's oldest tortoise, a 250-year-old tortoise, died last week.
Oh.
Did it?
Yeah, in a zoo in India. 250 years old.
So would that have had that thing that they say about how you get a flashback of your life?
You mean your life flashes before your eyes?
Yeah, they say, don't they? Just like on your last breath or whatever. You like see you coming out of the womb and everything.
Well, one, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe your life flashes before you. I don't know what evidence we've got. People who die say, you never guess what's happening.
No, but there's loads of things that have happened where people go, oh, that's weird. That goes to show that we've been around before, or.
No, it doesn't. There's none. I have no evidence for that. Of
Well, I
reincarnation.
told you that time when it happened to me when I was younger.
Go on.
Your life flashed before your eyes?
Well, it wasn't like a flashback, but it was close. It's the next thing next to flashbacks. It was I was having a bath, right, and my mum had like run the bath and that, and she said, "Is that too warm?" And I said something like, "No, it's all right. It's a lot better than when I used to have a bath in that wooden bath in front of the fire."
Okay.
And she was like, "What?" And I said, well, it happened years ago. And she was a bit like, "Oh." And I can't remember that now, but she talks about it, and that just goes to show that, because I was at an age when I wouldn't have known about wooden baths years ago in front of fire.
No, but you talk rubbish now. So all you were doing, you were talking rubbish from an early age. Where's the problem?
No, but you can only talk rubbish if you're aware of knowledge.
Well,
I didn't know about wooden baths, so why would I have
But
invented
Carl, we've
that?
only got your mother's word on this, and she thought you might one day be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
She put a rock with a feather on it to keep a parrot company.
lest we forget.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's all bollocks.
So have you researched this? You've tried to find out when little Karl Mark I and his wooden bath when he was...
No, I don't want to go there, because that's when you start digging out all sorts
It's
of trouble,
rubbish.
innit?
It's rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish.
Well, it is
What
rubbish.
sort of stuff might
There's
you
no
discover?
scientific evidence.
No,
for
just like I've said about family trees and that, don't be looking at them, because you're only going to find stuff you don't really want to know about. It's the same as that, innit? Leave it, let it be. Do you know what I mean? If your granddad was Einstein, you'd know about it because your family would be shouting about it. If he was a bad one, you go, oh, keep that quiet. So
Right.
don't look at family trees, and it's the same. Don't be looking back in your past lives,
There's
because
no
God knows
past
what you've been up
lives.
to. Well,
Karl and the wooden bath. proof. If
Carl
proof needed-
Pilkington live on air talking shit again.
But this taught us. So if that's
And also, its flashbacks would just be, the same wall. I mean, it basically spent, I don't know how many years, in a cage. It was